Alright, this is Brendan with BP Kitchen Equipment, and we have here a 2020 Bizerba GSP HD. And although it doesn't say it, this is actually an HDW. The W stands for this. This is a weighing platter. As you can see on the screen here, the sharpener. This is a built-in portion scale that allows it to work dynamically with the slicer. And I'll explain more on that later. Yeah, overall the slicer is it's in okay condition. It's definitely a little worn. We'll actually be selling this one for a little bit less. So if you're interested in one of these models and want a little bit more of a budget option, this is great. It's a great option for you. Everything has been deep cleaned, so it is really just a cosmetic issue right now. Some scratches there. We take everything through a vinegar process, so we remove any minerals that might have been left on here. And then we actually sanitize every bit of the slicer. So really any sort of scratches or anything are just cosmetic and won't actually impact the functionality of the slicer at all. Overall, it's in good condition. It's just got some scratches on places that normally have used a little bit back here. But yeah, overall it's in pretty good shape. This slicer will come with this rail. This is really nice whenever you're working with like vegetables or what have you. They want to stay in line and automatically slice. Now before I go on about our refurbishment process, I can explain a little bit more about what this model does. We'll actually be doing an in-depth video in the future, probably this winter, on the differences between one of these models and Bizerba's regular HDs. But mainly, so I'll show you how one of Bizerba's regular HDs work. So it's automatic mode. I'm gonna put it on slices and I'm gonna hit infinite. And let's say I wanted to cut whatever I was cutting at 2 millimeters. So right now, this is exactly how one of Bizerba's other models would work. This is just going to infinitely slice. So the blade is running, and whatever you have here will just continually be cut. You can see on the screen that I actually have it set to infinite, but it's counting the amount of cuts it's making. So you could say I want 10 cuts, or 30 cuts, or 50 cuts, or 80. You can also change the stroke length, so this is short. And I'll go back to long. These machines are pretty fancy, then it'll get a little crazy, but let's actually change the blade speed, or the carriage speed. Oh, whoops. So you can see that these actually move quite fast. Let's turn them off. So in total, these slicers have 9 different slicing modes, technically, because there's 3 different modes for the stroke length and then 3 different modes for the stroke speed. But what this weighing platter allows you to do is you can actually set it to, let's go back to weighing. So right now it's not registering anything, nothing's on the weighing platter. You can actually say I want a ½ ounce of whatever it is that you're cutting. You see how it changes up here? So what it'll do is it'll slice. Oops. So it'll actually slice until it reaches that ½ ounce weight, then it'll automatically stop. What you can also do is in this infinite setting, it's actually going to keep cutting until no more weight is added. So let's say you wanted to slice a turkey roast, for example. You can put that turkey roast on here, set your thickness. So I want this a ½ millimeter thick, or maybe a millimeter. Hit this infinite sign, and it's actually going to keep slicing until that turkey is gone. In this case, it's going to recognize that it's empty cutting, so it's actually going to automatically stop right now. Yeah, these machines are really fancy. What we do is I actually update them to the latest firmware. So you can see the firmware here. I make sure that I can also give you codes for both the operator menu as well as service menu. So if you need to make any changes to your slicer, it'll be easy. Additionally, these slicers, you can change the blade speed. So let's go into here. So you can set your slow speed for 1600. Say you want to change that, let's bring it up to 1900. And the max speed can be at 250. Ideally, you don't want to go past 280, so we just leave it at 250 as Bizerba recommends. But there's a lot of things you can change here. You can change the brightness, for example, make it much brighter, make it dimmer, whatever you'd like. And there's a lot of things that I can explain about this machine, but ultimately I'm actually going to be putting together a YouTube video on the differences between this and an automatic. So more on that later. One thing that we do actually include with these is a sharpener. The reason that we include a sharpener is because the sharpeners need to be calibrated to these slicers. I don't know why, but I know that these models, the HDWs, you need to calibrate your sharpener, otherwise you can go into the sharpening menu, just right here, and it won't actually work. I'm not going to go into it because I'd have to turn off the slicer. But yeah, there's the reason that we actually sell these sharpeners with them is because you need to calibrate these sharpeners to the slicer, otherwise that sharpening menu that I showed you will not work. Yeah, I mean, if you're interested in one of these, please reach out to me. I hope by this winter we'll actually be able to post YouTube tutorials on how to operate these things in depth. But until then, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. So why buy from BP? Well, here at BP we do not sell used equipment. We actually refurbish, and we're technical experts in everything that we do know about these slicers. So I've received the slicer via liquidation, just like everybody else. However, I don't just baseline test it, wipe it down, and then ship it to you with no warranty. Here at BP, we actually service everything before we ship it out. So all mechanical, electrical was checked. I'm actually glad that I did because there's a switch. There's actually two switches down here, and they're actually flipped, would have made the sharpening mechanism non-operational. So ultimately, we sell you equipment that is guaranteed to work. It's backed by a 120-day warranty. It's our warranty. Yeah, we absolutely stand by it and behind our work. I made sure that all the mechanical is double checked. We make sure that, for example, these meat grips rotate, which is really nice whenever you have these. If you were cutting some thinner vegetables, for example, you want to be able to slide this in there like that, and then have your meat grip still be able to reach. So yeah, all of mechanical, electrical was checked. Everything's lubricated. We lubricate with either H1 Bizerba machine oil or H1 food safe grease. Just depends on the mechanism. Yeah, we talk quite a bit about our refurbishment process on the website. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or just check it out. I'd be more than happy to explain more. One thing I am going to show you real quick though is our safety calibration that we do. So first things first, let's see here. So we make sure that this blade is recessed behind the gauge plate safely. We do that so that these come as safe as they would from Bizerba. So the blade will not be sticking out. So when you pop this carriage open, there's no way that you or your employees can get cut when it is in fact below the 0 mark. When you do begin to slice, so right here, let's turn this on. Ooh, that's an automatic mode. So when you do begin to slice, it's an automatic right now. This cannot turn back. So the moment that you actually drop it below 0, you can rotate this carriage back. It's a safety mechanism that comes from Bizerba. We make sure that it's upheld. Additionally, we actually calibrate this gauge plate. So see, this carriage will not touch the gauge plate the entire way down. We do that for a couple different reasons. We do that just to make sure that whatever product you're slicing will not actually come into contact with anything, so no metal against metal. We also guarantee that the product will be the same thickness down here as it is up here, so you won't have anything that's cut real thin at the bottom then super wide at the top. It'll be homogeneous all the way through. One other thing that we guarantee is that the blade is actually really sharp. So as long as you maintain it on your end, this blade will be able to last you quite a long time. So sharp enough to cut paper very well. Sharpen it to OEM Bizerba specs. so that when you receive the slicer, you will not receive a dull blade. And as long as you do a good job of maintaining it, this will be a long-lasting blade. And whenever you do need to replace it, there won't be any issues. Yeah, there's a lot more I could say about these, but please feel free to reach out to me whenever you know, if you're interested. My number is 425-361-3695. And my name is Brent Marvick. Hope you have a good day, and thank you for watching.